Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is your girl, Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated, where we have the opportunity, the privilege, and the assignment to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the whole wide world. And we're grateful to God for having that opportunity to do that. Let me bring in my co-host.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is Takira Swan, and I am so happy to be with you today. So before we bring on our guest, who I am so excited to hear from, because I have not seen this beautiful guest in so many years, and she's just still lovely as the last day I've seen her. So anyway, before we bring her on and have her take the floor, please go to our YouTube page and like, share, subscribe so that you can help us bring hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world. Together, we really can do this. So like, share, subscribe, and be kind to one another.
How you do it. That's how we get the job done. We do it together. We do it as a team. Well, today we have the opportunity to bring to the platform Miss Dalila Muir, and we're so happy that she accepted our invitation to come. But before we release her to the platform, let me read this poem of inspiration. Life is a lot of work. What is it that gives us the strength to continue when we are tired and burned out? Sometimes an inspirational idea can help us renew ourselves and be filled with strength to fulfill our life's purpose. Inspiration comes in many forms. However, the root of all the inspiration is the idea that our lives are meaningful. Inspiration is knowing that what I do matters deeply in the universe. When you have the feeling that your actions are meaningful, you will become filled with strength and vigor to fulfill your life's purpose. I really like that. That's inspiration. When you know what you do is meaningful, doesn't matter what anyone else says, you keep doing it because it's a part of your purpose. Well, again, we want to welcome Dalila Muir to our platform. She's going to share with us on the topic of people without stable housing and how we can eliminate homelessness, how it can be done. And I know one of the things that she most likely will share is talking about how we can develop some of the abandoned houses, not some, many of the abandoned houses that are in Baltimore City. I'm sure whether you're in California, New York, Florida, wherever, you have abandoned houses that can be turned into homes for the homeless, because I think about them so many times, especially in the winter time. So there are some things that we can do. Those of us, even today, after I did my walk today, I walked back into the house. Thank you, Lord, for air conditioning. And it's hot out there. Where do they go when it's so hot that the index, it says don't even be outside? But we're going to get some information today from Dalila, and she's going to help us to, matter of fact, understand maybe some of the mental illness that go along with homelessness. But it's her lane. She's going to share information, give us information, help us to be understanding and a little sympathetic to those who don't have what we have. Dalila, you have the platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me today and for talking about such an important topic as homelessness and overcoming it. This started through the invitation to your platform, started through a young lady, Abigail Matthews, who is one of our summer interns working with us along with Talia Fontaine on a project called Reimagining Homelessness, which is an event we're having on July the 9th and 10th. It's a 2-day event from 10 to 12, where we are going to be unveiling a renovated home in West Baltimore that we've renovated for individuals who are in need of stable housing. Homelessness, of course, is a buzzword that we throw around and use because we all seemingly understand what that means. But I wanted to go back and just talk about homelessness overall and why it's so important to tackle this challenge for individuals. Um, for me, I didn't plan on ever doing this type of work. I didn't plan on working with the homeless. I didn't plan on working with people with mental health disorders. And I certainly didn't plan on doing it in Baltimore City because the last time I was in Baltimore City was it wasn't a good experience for me. I went to school at Morgan State University. I dropped out of school at Morgan State University because I had mental health challenges that were not addressed. I was extremely depressed. I suffered from, I say, tendencies towards bipolar disorder, where I would be really, really motivated at one point and then really, really depressed at another. And back then in the 90s, there wasn't as many resources to deal with mental health. When I shared with individuals what I was dealing with, oftentimes they shied away because what do you do when someone's depressed? What do you do when someone's suicidal? And especially in a church context, that even becomes even more challenging. Why? Because we're expected to pray it away, fast it away, dance it away, and all of the traditional things. And all those things are good. But sometimes you need some extra help. So I had no plans on working in mental health or housing or anything. However, I find that it is interesting that I am in the field because in this city, in West Baltimore, and really all over Baltimore City, I couch hopped in my 20s. I didn't call it homelessness back then. It's like, oh, I don't have somewhere to live. So I'm gonna spend the week at my sister's, or I'm gonna go stay with my girlfriends for a while. And you sort of just live this transient lifestyle without stability, and your potential is locked in. And so when we're talking about reimagining homelessness now, in 2014, I left education as a teacher and administrator and started working in the mental health field. And I noticed that our efforts to help people with severe mental health disorders, so I'm talking about individuals with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or major depressive disorder or personality disorders, those type of severe, what they call a severe mental health disorder, my ability and our ability to help them was hampered because they did not have affordable housing. And that was not only the case if they didn't have money. Some of them even had disability and access to income, but they still could not sustain themselves. Why? Because their disability payments may have been, I call it 733 Club. They have $733. Can you imagine this? $733 to pay for housing, utilities, personal care, transportation, food per month, period. And even if they had a food stipend, it may have been $150 to $200 max. So at that point, maybe $900 to pay for everything. While in Prince George's and Montgomery County, as you can imagine, it's even more expensive than Baltimore. You can hardly even rent a room for that type of money. And so after trying to help people enter into formal avenues to get housing, I thought to myself, Baltimore is an inexpensive market in comparison to these other jurisdictions. I knew that Baltimore had a lot of inventory of vacant housing. So I purchased a house and sought about renovating it. And so I did. And the first time, it went through a many variations of renovation because we are privately funded. And to be totally transparent, that meant every single dime I had available, I would buy a house, buy a window, buy a house, get floors. And through it all, I'm proud to say that we have acquired 3 homes in West Baltimore, all beside each other. So when you ladies come and visit for the open house, you'll be able to see what we've done. And we're looking to purchase even more on the block in this area so that we can effectuate real change for people who need stable housing. And when I say that these homes are gorgeous, they are. One of the challenges too, beyond giving people a stable place to start to rebuild their life, is like not only giving them somewhere to live, temporary, and having it not look like a hole in the wall. Because if you don't want to live there, why should someone else want to live there? And so I noticed that, the better your environment, the more space you can have in your brain to start thinking about your life. You feel better when you're in a clean environment, right? When the sheets are nice, and when you walk into a room or a living room that looks like a hotel or something close to it, right? And so one of the things that we're most proud of about this reimagining homelessness concept is that these homes for people who have low to no income are places where anybody would want to live, not just the homeless. Anybody would want to live here. And so far, we've seen that the people that we've been able to help, they're not where they want to be, but they're so much better than they were coming in. We've helped individuals who were literally coming out of the psych ward or whatever you want to call it, dealing with suicidal ideations and things of that nature. Why? Because they were stressed. Why? Because life sucked, right? And they just didn't have any more hope. The platform for what you do, right? Bringing hope and encouragement and inspiration. They were void of those things. And now that they have somewhere to stay, they're able to start to rebuild their lives. So this reimagining homelessness, again, it's happening on Friday, July the 9th and Saturday, July the 10th. We are asking people to register if they want to come. We've sent out e-bites. They can call 240-294-8399 or send a text to 240-294-8399 if they would like to come to the event. For those who are not able to come, we will have more of these throughout the summer to show everyone what we're doing and how they can be a part of it. And when we say be a part, it's not about asking people for donations. It's about asking folks to even refer people who they know need help, right? Or whatever they can do, or whatever they feel moved to do, or to pray for us as an organization, because this is just the beginning of what we want to do. Our goal is to house 100 individuals in our homes, period. That's our first benchmark. But along with that, 2 doors down from this, where we're having the event, it's a 3-story unit, and at the bottom was a storefront. And that storefront is being converted to a center for the community, a place where during the day they can go and get training, they can hear speakers, they can have evening events with poetry, they can have banquet halls, they can do yoga. It's a real place where they can get real help. They can meet with their therapists, case managers, whatever they need, job training, they will be able to do. And we're so proud to know that we've done it without taking on debt. They're great places, and it's just a wonderful place to be. So that's what we're doing. We're really, 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 really excited about it. We have a strong network of individuals and businesses and nonprofits that have come together to support our work in various capacities. And we're just really looking to effectuate change, real change for the most vulnerable population. And in doing it in a way where they have dignity, they have respect, they feel good. My personal commitment from coming out of a place of severe depression is that every day is a good day. Every single day, because I remember when every day was a bad day. Like every single day was super, super hard. And I thought about not being on the earth every single day. And you don't want to share those thoughts with people because they'll think you're crazy, but it's real. And to be out of that place where I look back at my life and say, man, I'm glad I didn't check out of here, because I would have missed out on a really great life. And to be able to help other people realize, hold on a little while longer, there's help, there's people that care, there's resources, we got you, in a very real and tangible way, is one of the most rewarding experiences I've had the opportunity to experience since I've been on this earth. So that's where we are. Yeah, it's very exciting.
That is so wonderful. That is an awesome movement. It is awesome. So if my first thought, if I know of someone that would fit well in the programming, my first move, and this is for my audience as well, my first task would be to contact One of those phone numbers?
240-294-8399.
Slow down, slow down, slow down.
See,
Slow
this will
down.
make them have to watch this over and over on.
Yeah,
Project
and
Boost.
I'm going to put it in the comment section as well. And along with, yes, watch and then watch again and then pass it on to someone to watch.
Yes.
See, that's that teamwork. That's how we do it. And we definitely want to support your July 9th and 10th event. Now, during your presentation, you said, pray. Definitely we're going to pray. But nowadays we have to do more than just pray. Action, put your words into action. And for us to actually support you, that would be really, really great. Go support her. We'll get the address. We'll get the phone number. And I was going to ask, were you serving any refreshments or anything? Because I only ask because don't try to get it all yourself. Get some donations. People talk, I always say talk is cheap. Yeah, talk is cheap.
We will be, especially since it's the summertime. So we will have drinks and prepackaged things for people to take with them. And the way that we've organized the event is that it's almost, you come through and it's like a drive-through, if you will. You come in, you sign, you have your mask on because we're in Baltimore City, so we follow all ordinances. You go through, we have a card with 4 questions for feedback that we want from anyone attending. What did we do well? The second question is, what could we do better? Would you refer someone that needed help? Would you feel comfortable? And the fourth is also very important, is would you join our network? One of the things is that while doing this work, we didn't want to be between trying to fundraise and doing the actual work because we were already really strapped. So we put our own, again, resources in and got to where we are. But we realized that having a network is really powerful. So for us, donations look like, can you join our network? So that as we go and seek formal funding from our network, a larger network, and we have a team that's helping us with that, we can say, hey, we have 1,000 people on our newsfeed. And so when you support us and advertise, it'll be a form of advertising for them, and they can support the work that way. And that way we don't have to bombard our supporters with emails and things of that nature, or spend too much time doing what we do not do best, because what we do best is tearing down homes and rebuilding them, right? And laying flooring and helping people. So we're open to all donations. One of the other areas where we're really starting to put some legs now that COVID is in a better place is around food donations, because one of my observations when helping people who needed this type of support is once they get into a housing program, oftentimes they would take the only dignity they had left, which might have been an independence card, and they take that, and the food goes into, that money goes into purchasing food for wherever they live, which I totally get. It makes perfect sense. The challenge was when they would have to leave during the day, they literally would be going out without not a dime to do anything. If they were out and they needed some juice and a bag of chips, they could not go and purchase that. And it really stripped them of the final level of dignity financially that they had. So we've made a commitment that anyone coming into our program, we will not do that. We want you to be in the community. And matter of fact, it's part of the requirement that you're doing something constructive during the day. And while you're doing that, if you want to buy lunch for yourself, we want you to be able to do that. So food donations are really one of the things that we're trying to organize and making sure that that works. Because as you can imagine, feeding 50 to 100 people for a whole year, 365 days, is a large undertaking. So that's where we're looking for some real support and legs around that. But other than that, we look forward to you coming out, supporting the event. 240-294-8399. Call, send a text, find out some information. Text actually is better than calling right now, as a matter of fact, because the calls are insane, honestly, right now. So if you send a text, that's actually better. You can just say, hey, we're interested in hearing more about your organization. And speaking of organization, I failed to mention that the umbrella organization for all of this is called Chica. CHICA, which stands for Coppin Heights Industrial Complex for the Arts. And the Chica is an umbrella organization that's supporting the work of the individuals, of the housing program, and of other businesses who want to develop the West Baltimore area from a grassroots perspective. That's really key to us as well. From one of the key things that Chica has been doing even through the pandemic is organizing community cleanups. This is very dear to my heart because I hate dirt, I hate trash, I hate filth. And it's one thing to renovate a home and people feel good when they're in a home, but when you're driving to the home, there's dirt. When you turn the corner, there's trash. And if you go out and sit on the porch, you might see a rat. I'm like, we can't do this, right? And so we have, even through the pandemic, worked through Chica and working with other community organizations, and the people in the neighborhood have literally started to clean up the neighborhood. Saturday after Saturday, Sunday after Sunday, morning after morning, advocating for trash cans. You wouldn't believe that there are some neighborhoods in Baltimore that do not have trash cans. And so you say, why are certain areas so filthy? They don't have trash cans. And the trash, when it is picked up one time a week. And so if you're picking up on a Friday and someone doesn't have trash cans and they put trash out on a Saturday or a Sunday, can you imagine that that sits for an entire week? Whew. And so advocating for simple things like trash cans for the community, recycling bins, and organizing regular weekly, bi-weekly, monthly trash pickups has been something that Chica has been doing, right? With people in the neighborhood. Mowing grass and taking care of the curb appeal in the neighborhood. Again, another thing that we've been doing. And that has been so awesome because it's allowed us to come out of our shell as someone that's just renovating buildings and doing a program to meeting real people in the neighborhood, forming honest relationships. I'm a very private person, like extremely ridiculously private. I said at the beginning of this, I was nervous and I just have been talking probably way too long at this point, but normally I don't talk this much. I don't, I work, right? That's what we're given to do. But being out in the community, you get to know so many people and then to introduce the work and they see the benefit and there's such a level of appreciation. And it's so great because even on the block where we are, I don't have to be the person picking up trash anymore. And I'm like, who would have thunk it? That by picking up trash, the community has done it. I didn't ask them to do it. I didn't beg them to do it. They saw the work, they appreciated it, and they started doing it themselves. And it just made me think, what else could be done in Baltimore City, specifically West Baltimore? How much trash could we really pick up in the city? What could we do if we really engage the community on a base level and say, we're going to fix some things? And so I'm really excited. And every day, even if it's a hard day, it's a good day because I feel that this is my purpose for this time in my life. And I hope that your audience has been blessed by it and that they will continue to support and give us a call. Yeah.
That's why you can talk like you talk because it's so much a part of you. And I can relate to that when you are talking your heart. It just go on, but it's wonderful information and it gives us an opportunity to see where we can help. I mean, someone may not have the money, but they can donate their services. Someone may not have other things that you might need, but their services would be very helpful in their support and sharing the word and getting the word out there. Many things, even the trash can, things that we take for granted, there are people who just need some of the things that we throw away. But even the trash cans, do you ever have donations of trash cans or you look for the city to provide them?
So far, we've looked to the city said they're backlogged. And so now we've started to go out. We've priced some, the ones that we need are really pricey. So we've been looking for like Home Depot, Lowe's, and other hardware places to give donations of trash cans, which is just so weird to say, hey, can we have a trash can or 200 for this neighborhood? that's where we are, because the neighbors would put trash in a can if they had a trash can, which then would cause the street not to be dirty, which then would decrease the amount of rodents and access to food throughout the week. Like there's just a spiraling level of consequences because someone doesn't have a trash can. Like it's insane. So this is a plug. In the future, we are going to be releasing a mini documentary on trash in West Baltimore. And it's all about trash and rats, which has been an accidental undertaking, but it's been interesting. So we're hoping that gets better too. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see that because let me tell you, whoo, one of my biggest pet peeves / fears, like maybe like one of my only real fears, I can't do rodents. And it's like, and people don't understand, like I always say, well, how like we have all these rodents here, like in the city, but it's something as simple as people don't have a trash can, something that people take for granted because, like, oh, it's just a trash can, everyone has one. No, that's not the case. So I actually can't wait for this documentary. And I'm hoping that the documentary and the work that you're doing will not only bring awareness, but will help solve this issue so that we can have a domino effect of making our communities better. One, thank you for coming on our broadcast today. But two, you are so precious. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate the work that you're doing. Viewers, if you can just support this project and this organization in any way possible, I encourage you to do that. It's so, so important. And if anyone out there is thinking, because, a lot of times some people say, I love your broadcast, but I can't relate to the topic at hand. So I feel like everyone should be able to relate to homelessness, because even if you've never been homeless, you have to at least been grateful once for a roof over your head, some warmth in the cold, some air when it's super hot, wherever you're watching this right now, I'm pretty sure you're thankful for having that. And just imagine if you just could not be where you are because you have no other place to go. It's really no difference between anyone who's homeless and someone who has a wonderful place to live, because you could be there just like that. So I just, want to encourage our viewers not to only be grateful for what we have, but don't, turn your nose up or, shy away from people who are homeless and think, oh, they're just so much different from me and I can't really relate to them, because you can. You're a human being, and everyone deserves, I believe, to have a roof over their head and some food in their tum-tum, like in their tummy. So I just really want to encourage everyone to just participate with things like this, especially this organization, this project. I'll be there on Saturday on the 10th. So I'm excited about that. I've already talked to Dalila, so I was like, I'm coming, I'll be there. I cleared my schedule. So I'm very, very happy to see the work that you're doing. And I know that it's just gonna grow. And I'm just praying that it just, grows rapidly and that you just have all the support that you need, because this is such a great program here that you have.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing. I kind of chuckle at you now, Dalila, when at the beginning you're like, you didn't talk that much, but I knew it was going to be like this, because usually my guests, when they say I won't have that much to say in a 20-minute time frame, I'm like, okay, you're the ones that I have to pretty much, bring in, because when you start talking about what is precious to you and what matters to you and your passion, those are the times that, you just go on and on, because it's, like I said, it's such a part of you. And we thank you. This is not one of those topics that people like, would you come over here on my platform? Will you come over here? People are not going to welcome you all over the place, because it's not necessarily a popular type of subject matter. But we're so glad that God chose you to actually do this work and to let people know they matter. They really matter, and people do care. People do care. Now, one of those days that you do the cleanup around the neighborhood, I might help. I don't take the rodents either, but give me a couple of pair of gloves to put on.
But we can do it.
We can, exactly, Takira, we can do it. Because it's still helping the community, bringing them hope, encouraging them. When they saw you out there cleaning the neighborhood in your area and reaching out to the individual, not just the property, but the individual, that inspired them and encouraged them. So again, we're grateful to God for the work that you're doing. As Takira has said, don't forget to support her.
Yes.
Support. Pray too, but really we need your support. All right. And again, we're going to put that information regarding the 9th and the 10th in the comment section so that individuals can go back and view that information. And shout out to Miss Fontaine. What's her first name? Talia and Abigail. Those ladies are something else. And we're grateful to God for them. We're grateful for the movement, and we're grateful for you coming to watch this platform on today. Well, tomorrow we shall see you at the same time, 1 p.m. tomorrow. All right. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again to Dalila.
Thank you.
Bye,
So
Takira.
much.
Bye.